Okay guys, this year's Evo Enduro 2019, we have these teams participating, and together with them, you will stand a chance to win a Proton X70, 38,000 ringgit cash. Yes, these are real money over here, and 2-person gets to win this, and another 10-person will be able to win 8,000 ringgit cash. All you need to do is just to buy their products from a minimum spending of 5 ringgit. To know how to enter, all you need to do is just to WhatsApp your receipt of your product and answer a simple question to this number. To understand further, go to this website to know about all these products and how to enter. Menang, menang, menang!
Menang!
Alright.
Again, Con?
Make noodle lah.
Hi guys, now I am we are in Phuket. Next to me is Arvin from Carlis. Behind there is Subhash from DSF.my, and we are driving the
Eugene, are you here?
the Isuzu D-Max 1.9. Okay, so this 1.9 liter engine, codenamed RZ4E. I remember it was launched in 2015. Like when it first came out, I remember I was so surprised by this engine, because Isuzu traditionally they've always been very big on large capacity engines, 2.5, 3 liters. They've always favored large capacity engines but low outputs. Okay, the ideology behind that is to ensure that the engines are understressed, underutilized, which in turns benefits longevity, endurance, durability of the engine. So for them to suddenly push out a 1.9 that challenges a 2.5 liter engine in terms of output, that is a very big paradigm shift for them, you know. To put the numbers in context, this 1.9 engine makes 150 horsepower, 380, is it 380 newton meters of torque, bro? 350, right? Okay, 150 horsepower, 350 newton meters of torque. But more important to note is the specific output, because the 2.5, the old 2.5 4JK engine made 53.6 horsepower per liter. This one here makes 77.8. Now I calculated also for the 3 liter engine is also making somewhere around 59 horsepower per liter. So you see, so in terms of specific output, this engine is a big jump from previous generation Isuzu engines by as much as 44%. So that is, by Isuzu standards, a very, very aggressive tune. But as we also know, Isuzu, they are also known to over-engineer their engines. I mean, if you come to Thailand, it is not uncommon for the Isuzu 3 liter to be boosted, to be, you know, you just put a chip on the ECU, right? Pop, you free up double the horsepower from the 3 liter engine without needing to change any of its internals, and the engine will still run reliably. So that is what Isuzu, you know, that's how Isuzu, their ideology, they always over-engineer their vehicles. And this is therefore a very big change for them. And so just earlier today, we were speaking to the chief engineer, and they were highlighting some of the improvements that they've made to this engine. So for starters, they've made the block of this engine some 14% stiffer than the 4JK. So when you have a stiffer block, it means it can take more stresses. And I believe also the pistons, the conrods, all those things the crankshaft, all those things have also been accordingly made tougher than the old 2.5 to ensure that this engine can take the added stresses. And if I may be so bold to make a prediction, a speculation on my part, I would think that this engine may actually, you know, you may actually chip this engine to 200 or 300 horsepower with a with an aftermarket tune, at the risk of voiding your warranty lah, of course. Now the other thing about this engine is that this smaller engine, an often spoken about advantage of a downsized engine is that you have, because the engine is smaller, it's lighter, so it offers handling benefits. And this 1.9 liter engine, which is still built on a cast iron block like the 2.5, is 56, is it 56? 56 kilos lighter than the 2.5 4JK. And yesterday we were driving up from Krabi up here to Phuket. We encountered some twisty roads, and yes, the D-Max does not handle with the kind of sharpness. It does not cling on to the ground with the same tenacity as you would with a Mitsubishi Triton or a Ford Ranger. But what was really noticeable was a lack of understeer. So yeah, the tires were squealing a bit, but I noticed that when I make turns on the steering, the front end was tracking according to my steering inputs. So the lightened engine up front, the reduction of weight sitting on the front axle, no doubt comes to the benefit of the dynamics of this car. Okay, of course, it still has not. I mean, if you were to go on a highway, right, a fast sweeping bend, I would probably still find the Triton to be more assuring on the highways. But on those, like quick, sharp bends, the Isuzu actually handled itself rather well, and that part of it I was quite impressed. Now the other aspect that the reduction in engine weight has helped is that it also gives you increased payload, because it's the same chassis, same engine, same chassis, same outputs, but reduced weight from the engine. You can carry more weight at the back, plain and simple. Now in terms of performance on the road, as we were driving yesterday, up to speeds about 130 kilometers per hour, I really did not feel that there is any deficiency, if you like, versus the 2.5. In fact, this engine, one of the improvements that Isuzu made with this 1.9 engine is that they have improved on the refinement. So they've made this engine run quieter, they've made this engine run smoother, mostly because of also the improved internals. So they've reduced the internal friction of the engine, and that helps make this engine more significantly more efficient than it otherwise would have been. But of course, once you go to the top end, once you try to push higher speeds, 140, 150 kilometers per hour, that is when you would realize, that's when you would think that, maybe I would still want a 3 liter, because at the end of the day, you cannot escape from one truth. There is no replacement for displacement. All these technology things will take you to a certain point, but once you hit the top end, once you go past your daily grind, yeah, a 3 liter engine would still come in handy if you are really doing a lot of long distance driving. But within the confines of urban environment, this 1.9 really is feeling entirely adequate. So now I'm climbing up a steep slope. The engine, well, it's needing to hold a gear, but it does not feel too labored. But then again, the advice would be, if let's say you are driving on a long stretch of road, you see an upslope ahead, build up some speed, get some momentum. That will allow you to climb up the hill way easier. Now, one thing about this 1.9 engine is this. Okay, it's turbocharged, yes, like the 2.5, and the turbocharger has an operating range. So below 1000 RPM, it is naturally off boost, and so that is an area where the 1.9 inevitably will be faced with a performance deficit against the 2.5, and that is where Isuzu they have taken the effort to introduce a pair of new transmissions to go with the 1.9. So the 2.5 and 3 liter D-Max had 5-speed transmissions, manual and automatic. The 1.9 here gets new 6-speed transmissions, manual and automatic as well. So that gives a wider spread of ratios, and it allows the engine and transmission to better optimize the torque curve. So the 1.9 here has a higher peak torque than the 2.5, but it also tapers off earlier. So the 2.5 had peak torque of 320 Newton meters from 1008 to 2008 RPM. This one, the peak torque starts to fall off from 2006, 200 RPMs earlier than before. So yeah, so there's that. And so with a wider spread of ratios, it means that there is more selection of gears to help keep your engine in peak in its power band. Now another innovation that or feature that Isuzu has introduced with the 1.9, which I unfortunately will not be able to try here with this automatic car, is that with the manual versions, they have included something what they call launch assist. So what it does is, you see, the thing is that when you're taking off from a slope, okay, with the 2.5, no issues, because the 2.5, even when you're taking off from standstill, even when it's off boost, the natural capacity of the 2.5 liter engine means that there is still a useful amount of torque that you can pull the car up a slope when off boost. But this 1.9 here does not. So what they have with this launch assist thing is that the car will automatically keep the revs slightly higher so that you don't so easily mati engine on the slope. Coming back to this review, this new 1.9 liter D-Max, it is a very interesting prospect in that right now this is the pickup truck with the lowest road tax in our country. And oh, there's one more thing I forgot. So the D-Max is locally assembled. It is the first pickup truck to be granted EEV status in Malaysia, and of course that means the prices, as I record these prices, have not been announced yet. That means, however, that you can expect this 1.9 D-Max to be more competitively priced compared to the 2.5, and that's a good thing. Okay, and of course you expect significant savings in terms of road tax. What
440.
440.
According to them, 440.
440. The 2.5 is about how much? It's about 800-900, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's about half lah, basically. Okay, half the road tax, and that means that at the very least in Peninsular Malaysia, this the D-Max 1.9 will make for a very, very attractive proposition. Now, of course, in East Malaysia, particularly in Sabah, where large capacity engines are still preferred, then that is where the 3 liter version still comes in handy. In fact, many of the I've been told that for models that offer large capacity engines, like, you know, the old Hilux 3.0, the Hilux 2.8, the Mitsubishi Triton 3.2 once upon a time, and as well as the D-Max 3 liter here, most of the time it is Sabah that takes up the highest proportion of the large engine variants, and chances are with the D-Max that is going to continue. So the 1.9 naturally, I believe, will see quite limited appeal in Sabah, but in Peninsular Malaysia, in to a certain extent in Sarawak, this engine with its small capacity, okay, and low road tax, definitely would be appealing. All right, and I'm curious to see, of course, how this engine would fare in terms of its long-term durability, because at the end of the day, this is still an engine that is very highly tuned with high specific outputs. So there will be question marks on its long-term durability. But if any company, all right, Isuzu has always been conservative with the way they build their engine. So chances are this 1.9, the internals are probably built to 3 or 400 horsepower specifications, but they tune it to 150. So that means that it's still a very relaxed engine in terms of its outputs versus its potential. But overall, it's not bad. Okay, quite happy with it thus far. Handling is good relative to its predecessor lah. Engine really is quiet, pulls decently, and the variant that we are testing here, this is, I believe, maybe the premium variant, something like that. Good features: reverse camera, touch screen, keyless entry. So it is a usable urban truck. Okay guys, so you see this is a steep slope. I'm climbing, gear on drive,
0.3 kilometers, then turn right.
and it's pulling up all right. No signs of struggling from the engine, but of course you do have to press the accelerator to about what, 2/3, 3/4 travel. And right now we are at 40 kilometers per hour, pulling 2000 RPMs. Okay, yeah, so now we just had to slow down and lost a bit of momentum there. Now press on again. So can feel the transmission had to downshift to keep the engine in the power band. So this transmission actually is not bad. It's quite it's not bad, right? During the times that I've been driving it in the various conditions, rarely had to resort to the manual override. And I think Isuzu, when they tuned this transmission, they were also mindful that this is a low capacity engine, so the transmission is given a slightly more aggressive character in that it is more ready to downshift. And I just drove past our dinner spot for during our last day at Enduro. So now I'm climbing up the slope again. Well, this is a more gentle slope lah. But still, the overall feedback is that, yeah, didn't seem to struggle up the slope at all. Okay guys, so let's show you a bit how this car handles on this twisty stretch. Okay, and we're coming up a rather sharp right, making the turn. So you may or may not be able to hear the wheels. There was a bit of screeching, but the front end, okay, I had to really brake there. Yeah, but the front end really tracks the way where you point the steering much better than you would expect of a pickup truck. So guys, just to show you, this is the engine. Okay, and as you can see, it is very compact in size. So this is the front end of the block, that is the back end. Okay, it's very near, very compact, and it's all well, there's a lot of space here, really, because this engine bay was originally designed for 3 liter 2.5. Now it's accommodating only a 1.9. So yeah, there's plenty of room here, and looks like it's very easy for technicians to access for servicing. And actually, I remember, right, the old 3 liter 4JJ, they used to put the the oil filter right on the top for easy access. This one, they have probably reverted it to a more traditional position. Okay, so here you have it. This is the new Isuzu 1.9 liter engine. You nak air tak?
Tak nak.
Asal tak nak? You nak lah.
Kenapa?
Aku nak menang X70 ni. Sebab ini baru RM1.20. So kalau aku beli 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, belanja punya bini, belanja punya anak.
Belanja air. Janji resit dia RM5.
RM5. Okay, menang Proton X70. Beli air, menang Proton X70.
Beli air boleh menang Proton X70.
Yes.
Terbaik lah.
Okay.
Kalau macam tu saya nak lah.
Nak ah? Nak, okey.